I'm Jason Klamm, and this is the Comedy on Vinyl podcast. The year is 1985. The album is Dr. Demento Presents the Greatest Novelty Records of All Time, Volume 4, the 1970s. The artist is various artists, but Dr. Demento is the one who put it out. My guest is Bob Bledsoe. Thank you. After how long did it take us to do this?
Hi, Jason. Yes, it took quite a while. You emailed me initially, I think 15 years ago.
Yep, that's correct.
And over the past 15 years, we've been emailing back and forth. And email has really changed in the past 15 years.
Yeah, so have we. I mean, honestly.
We have. But fortunately, we still have our old AOL account.
Exactly. Right.
So that's worked out really nicely.
So, okay. Ooh, there we go. That's decided to drift the microphone. Why did you pick this? Number one, I was very strict because you picked a few things. I'm like, sorry, not vinyl. Or sorry, this, that. So I was very picky. So
right.
Then you stuck to this one.
Right. I did stick to this one. I had a few things in mind.
Yes.
What I wanted to do was pick something that I hadn't heard in a long time.
Sure.
And see if it still holds up.
That's smart. Yeah.
So initially I was thinking like the early Adam Sandler albums or something that I really enjoyed, you know, when I was sort of a teenager. This, though, I really like this because the Dr. Demento stuff is the first comedy that I remember even really being exposed to, other than like, you know, stuff on television and things like that. But this was something that I could listen to over and over.
Awesome.
Okay. Because here's what happened. When I was 7, I would say probably 7 years old, my aunt, who lived in another part of the country at the time, started sending me cassette tapes that she recorded off the radio, off of the Dr. Demento program.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I didn't actually have the album, but I had these cassette tapes, and I would put them in, and I think they were probably the only like music or tapes that I owned at that time because I was 7.
Sure.
And I would listen to them over and over. And the interesting thing is some stuff I loved. I thought was hysterical and could listen to over and over. Some stuff I didn't understand because I was too young. And some stuff I did understand, but I didn't like the comedy. I didn't get it. So I thought it was interesting. So it was fun to go back the other day and sort of listen to these tracks. There are some tracks on this particular album. There's a couple tracks that I'm not super familiar with, or that I barely remember.
Right.
And then there's also other tracks on Dr. Demento that didn't make it to this particular album.
Yeah.
That were great.
That's what's rough, is like, I mean, if that's the way you're listening to it, like, I obviously made your job a lot harder to pick one. There's a couple in here I had never heard. I'd maybe heard of. Like Junk Food Junkie, I had personally never heard before. I don't know, was that one that you knew?
That is one that I've heard before, but it's one that I had less familiarity with. That, and then what was it? There's a song from Rocky Horror Picture Show which I wasn't exposed to, and that didn't make it to the tape.
Yep, that makes sense.
That I got.
Maybe a little early for a 7-year-old. I'm just saying, you know. I mean, the song would be fine.
Yeah,
the movie maybe not so much, depending.
Right. I will tell you this, though.
Yes.
This is a good story. Well, I don't know if it's a good story, but it's a story.
It's a story. That's fine.
And it'll take up time. You want you want stuff that takes up time for this podcast,
yeah, that's
right?
usually how I like it.
Here's a story that will take up time. Not a lot, though. Dead Puppies was one of my all-time favorites. Right?
Yeah.
Because it was a song about dead puppies, but dead puppies aren't fun, and it was a song about how they're not fun, and that's so obvious, and it's also dead animals. And by the way, this album features a lot of dead animals.
It does.
Back then, dead animals was a big thing. Anyway, so Dead Puppies was my favorite thing. I ended up working a day job in Los Angeles at a company that Bill Frenzer, who wrote Dead Puppies, he's the lead singer of Ogden Edsel, or one. I think it was two guys, Ogden Edsel.
Okay,
but Bill wrote Dead Puppies, and he worked at this
That's so
place. Cool. And I didn't know who he was until somebody told me long after having worked there.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was kind of a weird thing.
That's hilarious.
He still does, comedy and still
doing
a lot of stuff, but he has had this day job.
Yeah. It's so. I mean, that's the one thing too. Is I was thinking about this. Is like, it was 85, right? So it's Weird Al's on here not just because it's one of the quote unquote best of the 70s, but it's because Weird Al had just become Weird Al,
right?
So I would otherwise like there's almost nobody else on here whose career was made. These are just like, here's my little thing. Here's my 15 minutes. Or here's something that, like, Randy Newman obviously had a huge career. This is just another piece. But, like, there's only one on here where it's like this launched this massive career that nobody expected to last.
Right, and he didn't have the career at that time.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Yeah, just barely. He had maybe 2 albums at this point. 1, 2, fuck. Because My Bologna was a single that he just submitted to Dr. Demento.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I was wondering if that was on his first album or...
It was, but I apologize, nerds, because I love Weird Al, and he's the reason I started this podcast, but I don't remember... I don't think this is the album version. I think they did a new version after this, but I could be wrong, and people will definitely correct me. So look forward to those fucking emails. But yeah, he's like the only... Like, it never... Like, who would ever expect that a novelty artist would blow up as big as he
He was
did?
huge. He was
so
huge.
Strange to me.
He and I will say that you might hate me for this, but this is a song that I got that I didn't connect with. I understood the humor, but even at 7 years old, I was like, he's just taking a song that somebody else wrote and putting food lyrics in it. That's kind of cheating. Like I sort of got that. It was like it was cheating. And later on, there was some Weird Al stuff that I thought was funny, but for the most part, I was like, he's just taking what other people wrote. And that actually had a big effect on me as a comedian, probably a negative effect, because I don't do parody songs. I don't even bring... You'll notice that if you look around my room here, you're noticing many instruments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instruments that you can see. Mandolins, ukuleles, guitars, banjos, a tin whistle, things like that I play. I do not play them on stage because I won't do song parodies.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I've heard some really good song parodies, and Weird Al has done some that I think are clever.
Yeah.
But I think it's limited me. That belief that the dislike of food-related song parodies has limited me as a comedian, because I could have half of my act be songs. Now, I've tried to come up with original songs, and I don't think I'm a good enough songwriter to come up with good enough. I have brought a mandolin on stage a handful of times and done original songs, but I'm a terrible singer, for one thing, and not a strong enough songwriter to make it work. But Weird Al had a big effect on my stand-up in that sort of reverse way of saying I won't do song parody.
I feel like, though, there are a lot of comics who would say, well, you probably, maybe you avoided slitting your wrist because so many people, regretted having a musical element to their stand-up ever. You know what I mean?
That might be true. I think I've been in and around stand-up long enough now at this point to where I'm kind of coming to the other side of things. I for a long time was just like 98% of other comedians that will bash musical comedy acts and prop comedy acts.
Sure.
Saying that's not real comedy. The fact is, whatever makes the audience laugh,
of course, is
real comedy.
Sure.
That's it. You do what makes the audience laugh, and hopefully you do stuff that you think is funny as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think that I'll be bringing music into my act anytime soon, but I am less opposed to it.
Yeah. No, that's good that you've grown. But do you write comedy music for yourself at all, or do you? What is your situation in terms of like the shit you're writing on your own that nobody gets to hear?
The music, it's you know what? I'm a melody player, so I typically write instrumentals. I'm working on one on this ukulele right now. I'm pretty serious about music.
Yeah,
doing this stuff, and I occasionally get to record on people's albums. If somebody needs a mandolin player. The nice thing about being a decent musician, but that plays an interesting instrument, is that when somebody's recording an album and they need a mandolin player, and they know me, I get the gig.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anybody else. Or
Makes
somebody
sense.
needs a ukulele player that plays a ukulele really well.
Yeah.
I get the gig.
That's awesome.
Because I can do more than just strum chords.
Sure.
I'm not bragging, but ukulele was my first instrument.
Yeah.
Play it pretty well.
That's a skill. Yeah.
So I get to play on an album or whatever. But what that does is it makes it so that I don't have to. I'm working on melodies and stuff. I don't have to write lyrics as much. And when I do try to write a serious song, the lyrics end up so cheesy that I'm totally embarrassed, and I won't even sing it to myself. Or they end up comedy. Like anytime I write something, it comes out comedy unless I'm trying not to, and then it comes out cheeseball.
That's so funny.
Which I guess is comedic anyway.
Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason to live. They got little hands, little eyes. They walk around telling great big lies. They got little noses, tiny little teeth. They wear platform shoes on their nasty little feet. Well, I don't want no short people. Don't want no short people. Don't want no short people around here.
Short people are just the same as you and I.
Fool such as I.
Yeah, I just love that. That's so much your instinct that it's unavoidable for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Is it? Do comedy and music do they feel like two different parts of like any creative void? Are they totally separate, or is there anything that you or any parallels that you actually see, or would we be forcing them in?
Well, no, they're parallels when they come together. And like I said, I have written, I think, 3 comedy songs that I probably won't perform on stage anymore, and I'll probably write more. They're fun to experiment with,
Sure.
and they come together in that way. But for me, creatively, they're totally different. Like I'm not one of these comedians who's always going for the joke. I don't always have to be like this on guy.
Sure.
And the music allows me to sort of be a different, like, be creative, but not always be like the joke guy. You know.
What's your writing process for stand-up? Is it as precise as you have to be with music?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. For stand-up, my writing process for stand-up is literally when I think of something funny, I jot it down if I have a pen and a piece of paper.
Sure.
And then it's the writing process is more of a rehearsal process. Like I do it over and over, and then I'll do it on stage and change it or whatever. But honestly, I usually now when I think of something funny, it goes into a script rather than stand up. It goes into a comedy script that I'm writing. You know, whether it's a feature or a television thing or whatever. But it is just it has never worked for me to sit down with a notepad and go, all right, time to think of something funny.
Yeah.
You know, but I can sit down with a mandolin and go, I'm going to come up with a new melody.
Right.
And that works. I don't know why that works in the comedy.
I know, that's
doesn't.
what I'm trying to like think of right now because I'm not enough of a musician to draw that comparison, but that is interesting that it's a lot easier to just sit down with that kind. I mean, I would imagine it's a little more relaxing to noodle than it is to just sketch out a fucking like. Okay, like your immediate thought when you're writing comedy, at least for me, is like, oh, probably nobody's going to like this. Oh, probably no. Oh, God, I hope this works in a certain way. You don't have to worry about that on a guitar or a mandolin or a ukulele.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I mean, a good point that I just made. I just said that my point is very good.
It is a good point because, first of all, the act of writing is not fun. Like, that's not an enjoyable thing to sit down with a notebook. And if the end result is to get a laugh... I only think it's funny if it made me laugh. Do you know how long it takes me to write in a notepad before I laugh?
Yeah.
Versus if I go, I'm going to come up with a melody, and I grab my ukulele, and all I do is go, that's great, I'm doing it. I'm coming up with a melody.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't, those are 3 notes, and it took me, half a second.
Yeah, that's a good point. I can't figure that exactly out, but I do like that. I'm not going to ask you to play any of your comedy music at the end, but if you've got a song that's in your head and you want to play it, I would not hold you back. Have you ever submitted a song to like a thing like Dr. Demento?
No, because I'm such a bad singer.
Okay.
I couldn't even do it. Like I have them written somewhere, but I haven't done them in. It's It's probably been a year.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this. I want to get back to these tracks, though.
Yeah, of course.
But I will say this. One of my things about musical comedy is I've never seen, except Kate Micucci, I've never seen a stand-up comedian with a ukulele who's not a complete terrible cheeseball.
I got it, yeah. Okay.
Kate's awesome, though. I love her.
She's fantastic.
And there might be other exceptions, but I can't think of any. But it seems like anytime I see a comedian walk on stage with a ukulele, it's awful.
Yeah.
And I also, so I decided that I would never go on stage with a ukulele. And also, it is my nightmare to be called Ukulele Bob. Like, if anybody ever decided to call me my name, but then put the instrument that I had in my hand in front of my name, that would be the worst thing ever, and I might kill myself. So, but there's no preconceived notions of a comedian walking on stage with a mandolin.
That's true.
So what I did was I wrote songs. I'm better at writing on ukulele. Okay. So I would write songs on ukulele or guitar, and then I would translate it to mandolin, and I'd pull my mandolin on stage.
That's awesome.
Which is cool because people, I have one of those mandolins with all the curls on it and stuff.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't even know what it is. When, it's like a weird thing. They're like, what does he have?
Right.
So
that's so good. Okay, so let's do this. Do you want to do this track by track? We can start at the beginning and then,
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah, so I've got, all right, we're going to start with Short People by Randy Newman, which is a song that I got to tell you, when I first heard Randy Newman, I didn't have a brain for irony, so there's so much of his shit that went above my head, but I do enjoy this song. It is a fun little song.
It is a fun song. It's probably the first Randy Newman song that I ever heard, and he's got the coolest voice ever.
Yes, he does.
Randy Newman. It's the greatest. I will say this: it is a unapologetic bully song for sure. There are lines like "Little eyes go around telling lies." So because they're short and they have small eyes, they're liars. Those things don't connect. And then there's a line that says you got to pick them up just to say hello. That's not true. You simply look down, you say hello. I will say this. I am friends with almost every little person in Hollywood. That's probably an exaggeration,
sure,
but I did a movie that is called Midgets versus Mascots. I don't recommend necessarily watching the film.
Right, okay.
But it had a lot of little people in it. We spent 6 weeks together shooting this film in Dallas. They're good friends of mine, a lot of them. I've never once picked one of them up, or even tried to.
Yeah, right.
Randy Newman's just wrong about this song. This is not a song based in fact at all. And I've also always been successful when attempting to say hello to them. My first try, none of them ever went, "What? I'm too short to hear what you're saying up there." You can always just say hello to a short person.
Do you know, are you familiar, outside of this and maybe stuff in movies, do you know that many Randy Newman songs outside of this? Other than maybe like I Love L.A.?
Yeah, I Love L.A.,
Yeah.
The one from Toy Story. No, I don't think I've ever heard a Randy Newman album.
And I owned one in the 90s. Again, the irony of a lot, like all the racism at first. It was like, what's he singing? And I'm like, oh, I see, that's what irony is. But like, but I don't know anybody, I've only ever heard one, I've heard a lot of stories about, I guess in the 70s, a lot of people thought he was a black dude before they ever saw like the covers of his albums. Nobody had.
Oh, really?
Because of his voice. And,
that makes sense.
Which is really funny to me. Like, it's a big shock to some people. Crap, and there's the list. Okay, so the next one is Junk Food Junkie. So that is one you did hear on the tapes?
That's one that I vaguely remember. I must not have connected with it.
Okay.
However, I do have a story from it, which is that and also something that I realized now. My mom, when I was young, my mom was president of the PTA, and she was crusading to have kids eat healthy foods. And I think because of that song, she made signs for our class. One sign said "Junk Food Junkie," and the other sign said "Good Food Goodie."
Love it.
And she would walk around our class during the day and place the sign over somebody's head. Whoever had the best healthy food and whoever had the crap had to wear the sign. Which I think was fun for us at the time, but that's awful. I got to tell my mom how awful that is. Just a terrible, terrible thing. But also in listening to this song the other day, I realized that it's sung as though it's played live.
Yeah.
And there's laughter in it. There is no joke in this song at all.
Right.
The joke is, I eat healthy. And by the way, this was done in the 70s. I was surprised at all of the health food references.
I know.
I mean, I know that there was a health food movement.
Of course, but
it seems like a hippie from today is talking about going to the juice bar.
Does. Yeah, I know. I didn't know macrobiotic was a term. I'd never heard it, until recently.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But also, there is ruckus laughter over things that are not jokes.
Nope.
He says, he mentions that he pulls out a Hostess Twinkie, laughs,
Holy shit,
crazy
they go
laughs,
nuts.
hysterical. Yeah.
Over a fucking Twinkie.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of food. All right, the bane of your existence, my bologna.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think I said everything, but I didn't hate it.
Sure.
I just didn't connect with it, and it did, and I think that was the song that made me go, I don't think I like parody songs. I didn't have that terminology back then because I was 7, but that was the one that sort of turned me off of parody songs, specifically that were about food.
Sure.
Food-related parody songs.
Man, you and Weird Al, if you were locked in a room together, that would be the worst thing in the world for both of you.
I have a lot of respect for Weird Al.
Yeah.
Because what he does very, very well.
Yes. Yeah.
And by the way, not everything is a food parody song.
Sure, of course. And he's moved away from it more recently, but still, everything that was either TV or food,
right,
or TV and food together.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
In the morning, laughing happy fish heads. In the evening, floating in the soup.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
Ask a fish head anything you want to. They won't answer, they can't talk.
Fish heads, roly-poly.
Side note, I was recently in a band that we had a drummer who is an old guy, who's been like a session drummer and things like that for years and years, since like the 70s. And he told me that the best band, he's been in with all these metal bands, everything. He told me the best band he's ever heard in his life was next to where he was recording, and he was hearing them play a Madonna song. He thought it was Madonna's band, and he went in and talked to them, and it was Weird Al's band.
Fucking great.
He said they are absolutely perfect as far as their dead-on ability to play music. Best band he's ever heard.
There is, when they did Trapped in the Drive-Thru, which was a parody of Trapped in the Closet, there's a moment in it. This is just one of my favorite little bits of trivia, where one of the lines is, "And I turned on the radio," and then the song stops, and then "Black Dog" by Led Zeppelin starts playing. That clip of Black Dog is identical to the original, but it is played by his band. Like, it is beat for beat perfect.
Yep.
Which is so fucking weird to me.
It is weird.
I mean, they're incredible talents, including Weird Al. I mean, to be able to play the fucking accordion the way he does.
Absolutely. Totally.
Next song is Fish Heads by Barnes and Barnes, which is one of the weirdest fucking things that anybody's ever heard. And I understand why people love it, but it's so weird.
It is weird, and it is my favorite one.
Is it?
And it was when I was a kid. It was that, and then Dead Puppies. But Fish Heads was probably the first time that I really got absurdist comedy.
Okay.
It first got me because of the voice.
Sure.
And it's also probably the first time I tried to ever impersonate anything.
Really? Okay.
Which I don't really do. I don't ever do impersonations in my act, but when I started stand-up, it was because I did tons of impersonations.
Awesome. Okay.
And then I decided I didn't like doing them, so I don't anymore. But I used to go around doing the, like, fish heads. That thing when I was a kid. That was probably the first impression that I ever attempted. And I did it very well back then because my voice was higher.
Sure.
But so the voice was a thing, but then the absurdity of, like, first of all, singing a song about fish heads, but then taking them to the drive-thru, and they're not good at dancing, and they don't wear sweaters. That's all in one verse, like a list of things that these fish heads don't do. It was so funny to me.
Yeah.
And that song, to me, still holds up. Like,
That's
the
awesome.
absurdist nature of that song still holds up as a funny song.
Were you listening to most of the stuff around 7? Or, like, when did you stop getting these tapes from your aunt?
I would say 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9?
I was trying to
Man.
figure out the time frame. It's hard to remember stuff accurately.
Yeah.
But I know it started when I was right around 1st, 2nd grade.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
And it probably was... Maybe I had 3 or 4 tapes, and I don't know if she sent them once a year or if she
Right.
sent them once a month. Like I don't even know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Were they just the songs, or were there Dr. Demento clips in between?
I think there were Dr. Demento clips maybe in between, but I don't remember them.
Okay,
So
okay.
so if there were, they didn't leave an impression.
Sure. Well, I mean, and he'd probably have it that way too. He'd rather just you listen to the stuff he wants you to hear. You know, I don't
Right.
think. If there's anybody who I've ever interviewed, like who's super famous or at least really influential and doesn't have an ego, not that any of them have had, he has the least ego of them all. He's
Really?
a very sweet guy. Like, so I figure he would just want to educate you and just move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next one, while I know the material and I know who Shel Silverstein is, okay, it's Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout, would not take the garbage out. This is the craziest reading of anything I've ever heard.
Yes, right?
It's demented.
It's the strangest. I don't know who it is that does the reading.
I think it might be him. Yeah.
Oh,
It's Shel
it's Shel
Silverstein.
Silverstein?
Yeah, to the best of my
Really?
knowledge, that's him.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
That's even better. That's
Yeah.
even better. This was one of my favorites because of the voice. It's such a weird reading.
Yeah.
And anytime I come across that, like I think that's in Where the Sidewalk Ends. Anytime I come across that poem, that's the voice that I hear in my head because it's the strangest, cadence too.
Yes, yeah. It's not like because like it's obviously formatted. Like I was thinking of it as he's reading it. I'm like, oh, this would probably make a great song, like a fine song. But like he's just broken it down in this way that does not have rhythm to it.
It's a very Christopher Walken way of doing it.
It kind of
It
is,
doesn't
yeah.
sound at all like Christopher Walken.
Right, but
he says something like, "Would not take the garbage out."
Yeah.
Yeah. Just these weird, very strange.
I want to know if he thought that way and if that's the way he thought things were okay to be performed. Not that he was trying to be different. Because like one of my roommates in college has no sense of rhythm. Like he's a real nice dude, but he's a weird guy. He's not musical or anything. But I feel like if he had he's a great writer though. If he had written something like this, feels like. No, this is how it just should sound. This is not. I'm not being weird. This is just me. This is just how I read things, and that's the impression I get from listening to this. He's not trying to be weird, and that's why it's so successfully weird.
Yeah.
At least to me.
Yeah,
so gruff.
It's very strange. Yeah.
So that's one of the ones you heard though too as a kid.
Oh yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah,
distinctly?
that was a big one.
The next one is also like it's like a one beat joke, but it like sounds it's like really got good production quality, and that's The Cockroach That Ate Cincinnati.
Yeah, that is. That's one that I only vaguely remember as a kid. I know I had it, but it's not one that I listened to over and over. And I think it's because it's not really a joke.
Yeah.
It's part of the 70s produced a number of monster-themed songs, and this is one of them. But it was like One-Eyed, One-Horned, Flying Purple People Eater.
Sure, yeah.
Which I think was on one of my Dr. Demento things,
Sure,
and I
probably.
listened to that quite a bit. Monster Mash, Cockroach That Ate Cincinnati. These were all. It was like a fad where I don't think there was ever any jokes in them.
I know.
Purple Eater there may have been, but I don't remember.
Maybe a couple, but yeah, no, that's exactly right. There are all these kind of just one note, not really joke kind of things.
Right. Good rhyming.
Yeah, sure.
Good rhyming, and that was the whole point of it, is what can we rhyme with That Ate Cincinnati? That's the whole point of the song.
Yeah, and it's one of the better like produced ones in terms of like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of backup and a lot of it's well produced. It sounds.
Yep.
The next one is Pencil Neck Geek. I had never ever heard this one.
Really?
Yeah.
This was one of my favorites.
Heard of, but never heard it in my life.
Oh, okay. This was one of my favorites as a kid, but it's because it went along with a sketch, and I think they went together. I don't think that they were separate tracks. There was a sketch with Ed Gruberman, Boot to the Head. Oh no, it was Boot to the Head. That's what it was. Do you know that song?
No,
Boot to
I
the
don't.
Head?
Not at all.
Oh, it was great. Pencil Neck Geek was the next track after that. That's why I have them in my head.
Oh, okay, sure.
Again, another just unapologetic bully song.
Yeah.
This is a song about geeks, like that they should die. Like there's something about killing them.
I know, because I thought at first it was strictly talking about like a circus geek, which is its own thing. But like at some point, it's like, no, that's not what it sounds like.
No, just a nerdy person.
Yep.
It's not. There's no irony in it. There's no. I mean, it's literally just a song about a bully who hates geeks and wants them dead.
I know.
And that's how it starts, and that's how it ends. It's just, it's terrible.
It really is. What did you love so much about it as a kid, do you think?
Just that it was funny. I think the pencil neck part,
Sure.
I thought was funny when I was a kid. It's not a song that holds up by any means.
Sure.
Now, but as a kid, and maybe it was that it was naughty, that it was a bully song, you know. But you know, I when I was 9 or 10, I killed a kid, and I think it was because of that song.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, has this ever been committed to tape before?
No, nobody knows.
Okay.
Nobody knows. This is the first time I've ever talked about it. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, exclusive. Comedy on Vinyl exclusive.
Right.
Bob Bledsoe's a murderer.
There's a statute of limitations on murder, right?
Oh, there has to be.
There's got to be. It was a long time ago.
You feel bad about it, right?
It's a long time ago, and it was because of a song, and I do feel kind of bad about it.
Sure. Metallica never killed anybody, you know, but Fred Blassie, however, the countless murders he inspired.
Right.
Next one is obviously, I don't know if this was on tape, but Time Warp by Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know what I'm saying.
Right.
You go what I'm fucking saying.
That I never heard, and had never heard because I am one of the small percentage of the population who has never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You've never seen it, ever?
Yep.
Wow.
Never seen it.
Maybe not a good time to start. It's a weird movie.
It seems like a weird movie, and I haven't gone just because it just doesn't seem like. It seems like something that would have been great in the 80s.
Sure.
And for somebody who had that experience in the 80s,
Yeah.
it's cool to relive it.
Yeah.
But it's almost like somebody who's never seen Star Wars.
Right.
Maybe don't watch Star Wars.
Right. Well, if you're gonna do it, they do it like I think they still do it live or like with audience participation and like an acting group in Santa Monica every week. That is worth it if you haven't seen it, I think, because people are dressing up and you're made to be involved.
Right, and it's a cool thing.
Yeah, like it's a bigger version of a drinking game.
Yeah.
You know? So it's fun. It's like. Again, I don't know if it would hold. It's a long-ass movie. Like, it's hard. Like, I could never pitch that movie successfully to somebody. Because I don't necessarily love it. I enjoy it. But, like, that's a hard thing to explain to somebody.
Soon the geeks were popping up all over town. You couldn't hardly sneeze without knocking one down. After a nice juicy steak, if you need a toothpick, just reach for a geek. They'll do the trick. One day we cut one up for fish bait. Learned our lesson just a little bit late. Soon as the geek hit the drink, the water turned red. Next day, sure enough, all the fish were dead. Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking peahead with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek.
Exact opposite of indie anything and go to the most successful stand-up almost of all time, at least of the 70s, at least of white guys, Steve Martin, which is King Tut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I kept saying, I'm like, Richard Pryor's the most successful stand-up of the 70s at least, but Steve Martin, of course, this is such a goofy-ass song, too.
Super goofy.
I love it, but it's goofy as shit.
Yeah, it's weird. When I heard it, to me, I didn't get the joke. Mm-hmm. There's no obvious joke in it.
Sure.
Really. It's
sure.
just that he's singing about King Tut.
Yep.
And as a 7 or 8 year old, to me, it was just a good song about history.
Yeah.
Like
I got it. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. It's kind of like in the 70s, there was this resurgence of interest in Egyptian history, like there was in the 20s. So it kind of makes me think of like when somebody now, or in the 90s, wrote a song about email. It's like very much like, here's the thing that people are talking about. I'm going to do a funny, goofy take on it.
Right.
You know? I think even the only joke other than like he's got a condo made of stone and all this ridiculous takes on it is that just like Isn't it funny that people are paying to see a dead guy? I feel like that's the basic joke of it.
Yeah, that probably is. But he says, the chorus is born in Arizona, raised in I don't even remember. It's very strange. But that was Steve Martin. I mean, he did strange things. He probably did that with an arrow through his head, right?
Probably. Although on SNL, he definitely had the full King Tut garb.
He did. He did have the full thing.
Did you have this one, or had you heard it?
I did. Oh yeah, I had it, and I listened to it quite a bit because I liked the song. But again, it wasn't to me. It wasn't a comedy song. It was just a song about King Tut, and he's a historical figure, and this guy, and it was a good song to me. It didn't. Now when I listen to it, it's clearly Steve Martin being a clown.
Yeah.
But as a 7-year-old, this is just a guy doing a song.
I get that.
No,
that's perfect. I love those kind of things that you have no perspective on as a kid, and you're just like, well, I know that this is like supposed to be funny, but I don't get it, so I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is.
Right.
The next one is "Earache My Eye," which is Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong.
I fucking love this song, but I love Cheech and Chong. I wasn't a stoner growing up, but I really love. I don't know. This one is just fucking ridiculous. Like it's all about cross dressing. I think it's specifically about like wanting to be a glam rock king / queen.
Right.
Yeah. Did you hear this one as a kid too?
I heard this one, and it's another one that I vaguely remember because I don't think I connected with it. I don't think that I got it necessarily. Mm-hmm. I did get like Basketball Jones. That was Cheech and Chong. I got that. That was one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. Earring My Eye was weird because it's a song and then it's Tommy getting busted by his dad, which is I can't remember what it was that he was, but that was the thing. It was just it was a weird sketch. I also was never a stoner growing up. Although the Cheech and Chong, I think I saw one of the Cheech and Chong movies when I was like a young teenager.
Okay.
And thought it was very funny, but I never got into like drug culture or anything.
Sure.
But I ended up. My manager for a while was Cheech's manager.
Awesome.
And Cheech and Chong went on a reunion tour a few years back, and my manager got me tickets to that. So it was really cool to see them live. Now I've performed with Tommy because he's on the stand-up circuit, so I'd met him and performed with him, but. It's very different when it's Cheech and Chong doing their stuff, and it wasn't really their new stuff. They just did what they used to do.
That's good though.
And I didn't even know what they did as a stage show, but they just brought out chairs. It was like an improv show. They just brought out chairs and did their sketches.
Oh my God, I
did
love
all
it.
Their A bits that we all know and love, but it's just them on stage with some chairs, like it's an improv show. It was great. It was awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How much moving was there? Or was it seriously just them sitting? Or did they get up?
It was. Oh yeah, they moved around a bit. They moved around a bit. It was a really fun show.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
that sounds like a ton of fun. Let's see. Okay, so then, and here's what we were talking about earlier. Literally, the final 3 songs on this compilation are all about dead animals. The word "dead" is in them.
Right.
The first one is "My Dead Dog Rover," and I know I'm a grown man, but I'm such a child. I got so upset by it. It's so, like, the sound design is a little too good, I think.
That one, I don't know if did I even list that one? Because I don't think that I remember that one.
Well, it's just a dumb song. It's I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover, but it's also mixed with a sketch where he runs over a dog with a lawnmower. It's so stupid.
That's right. And he's looking for his... He's looking for his dead dog, and then he finds out that he's looking for his dog, who he thinks ran away, and it turns out that he ran over it with a lawnmower. Yeah,
it's in bits and pieces all over the lawn. It's just, again, one-note joke, parodying a song from the 40s.
Right.
Right.
Like,
what? That's the weird thing, too, about, like, this little world of, like, novelty songs of this era. Like, you wanted to get heard, but, like, your idea of comedy was sometimes just, like, your idea of comedy.
Right.
Like, what's in your head. And I'm trying to figure out what appealed to people, again, other than the dead animal thing, which I think when you're little, that is funny.
It is, and maybe that was a thing back then also. Mm-hmm. Maybe people hadn't done a lot of dead animal songs or whatever.
Probably true.
You find that a lot of... There are comedy topics and comedy things that sort of just worked in one era, and then it stopped working. But there are songs that we've come across, like this Junk Food Junkie, where... There's not a joke in that. Mm-hmm. So the guy that wrote that, and obviously it worked.
Sure.
It got onto the Dr. Demento show. but tell me why that is funny. Tell me where there is a joke in that. And this one, I think the dead dog thing does have a joke in it, but it's a little one note, and there's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily deserve an entire sketch and parody song.
Right.
I'm looking over a 4-loop.
I know, God. And then the only thing about Junk Food Junkie that stood out to me is like, oh, this is a catchy fucking tune. They put together a good song.
Yeah.
Like, it's really well put together, and the guy can sing, the guy can play.
Right.
And I think the other one on here is the next one, the one that's best
Skunk.
performed is fucking Loudon Wainwright, because he's a really great musician.
Right, that's the skunk one. Right?
Yeah, Dead Skunk.
That's that is musically the best song on the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's got instrumental breaks. It's got great banjo playing, great fiddle playing. It's awesome.
And he's got a wonderful voice. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, if I was to do an imitation of today's indie artist, like it's still what he was doing then. Like his voice and sound have like just carried through. Apparently, it's so weird. So is this one of the ones that you heard as a kid too?
It's one of the ones that I heard as a kid. And it wasn't one of my favorites, but I do remember thinking it was funny. Like it's not, for some reason, it's not one that I listened to over and over like Fish Heads. But I do remember thinking that it's really funny to write a song about a skunk that smells bad, because bad odors are hilarious when you're 7 years old.
Yep.
So it was funny to me. Like it was one of those songs that I connected with, but I don't remember listening to it over and over and over.
Dead puppies, dead puppies, dead puppies aren't much fun. They don't come when you call. They don't chase squirrels at all. Dead puppies aren't much fun. My puppy died late last fall. He's still rotting in the hall. Dead puppies aren't much fun. No, no, no. Mom says puppy's days are through. She's going to throw him in the stew. Dead puppies aren't much fun.
Yeah, that was one of those where I don't, until today, re-listening to it, I don't think I even appreciated how good of a song it is. I know he's a great musician, but I'm like, it's just solid, and he's got a beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm. It's a good song,
and
for
he
sure.
knows he's singing about the stupidest thing in the world. Like that's the other thing. Like you know that this guy has knowledge that what he's singing is not like either necessarily the funniest thing. It's just dumb. Like he knows he's being dumb.
Right.
I appreciate that self-awareness.
Yeah, totally.
And then the final of the Dead Animal Trio is just Dead Puppies.
Yeah, Dead Puppies.
Which we talked about a little bit.
Yeah, that I ended up working with Bill Frenzer, which is so weird about living in Hollywood, that kind of thing happens. Like, you could be a fan of something when you're a kid, and it really affects you, and then you end up working with the guy.
Yeah.
Or, it's such a weird Hollywood moment. But also the idea, this sort of depressing thing where you don't end up working with him in show business. You end up working with him at a day job.
Yep.
That's kind of the thing. But as far as the song itself, again, like Fish Heads, very absurdist. And I thought it was hilarious. I listened to it all the time, and I would sing along to it, and it's super funny. They're dead puppies. It's so sad, but they're writing songs about it, and it was so funny to me.
I think that's why I liked it too, actually, was acknowledging that you're writing about something really depressing, but that you're doing a comedy song about it. I kind of like that. I think that's why that one, again, is more enjoyable than the one where you run over your dog with a fucking lawnmower.
It is. And as far as songs, my experiment of trying to figure out what if stuff holds up, I would say, if I was listening to Fish Heads or Dead Puppies for the first time now, I might not laugh out loud, but I think I would appreciate the comedy, and I think those two are the two that hold up for me.
Yeah.
Out of all those, some of them didn't hold up when they first came out.
Sure. Yep.
Others did. Yeah.
That's one of the things is I would like to know is where. I'm assuming that these are sort of from like. Just based on requests, like the most popular. I have to assume that that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But which again it says a whole lot. And there are other we were talking about before we started recording, but like he released at least 3 volumes of his greatest hits, of the greatest novelty songs in '85, which is crazy because I guess did he have to like pound out that many records that quickly? Like it's so weird to me. I could have spaced him out a little bit. But.
Yeah, maybe it was just the idea that these could make money if I all of a sudden
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It might be that he just had the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But there were others like I remember there's one, Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun. Do you remember that one?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's one that was a favorite of mine.
Mm-hmm.
The Boot to the Head song.
Mm-hmm.
This was, let me just talk about this because this was brilliant. It was a sketch that turned into a song, and the sketch was Ed Gruberman was taking a martial arts class,
mm-hmm.
and he kept interrupting the sensei, and the sensei would kick him in the head, and he would go. His reaction was always, "Ow! You booted me in the head!" Like it was so perfect for my 7-year-old little me to listen to this, and it was the sound effect of the the boot happening in the head. It was great, and then it would go into a song called "Boot to the Head," but the sketch itself was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was so funny to me. It didn't make it onto this album though.
Sure. Now, do you, if you're going to recommend this compilation, is it worth recommending this compilation for those 2 songs that you love so much?
I mean, no, it's really not. I mean, I would recommend it to someone who is studying the history of comedy.
Sure,
that's where I would recommend this album.
Yeah,
it's the majority of these I enjoyed when I was a child,
mm-hmm.
and they're great for kids. The ones where the humor comes through for kids.
Yeah.
For the most part, does not hold up.
Yeah.
You
know. Well, okay. Before we go, where can people find you? Where can people watch your stuff, etc.? Are you going to be performing anytime soon? I don't know when this is going to go up, but let's assume soonish.
Cool. Well, let's talk about this.
Yes.
As far as performing anytime soon, I perform around LA at this point. I kind of took a break from touring, from doing live stand-up for like 2 years. I didn't go on stage. I'm just starting to again. So I'll be in and around LA. But I'm doing some voiceover work. There's a movie that's coming out shortly called Space Dogs Adventure to the Moon. It's a movie for little kids.
Awesome.
I do some voices in. You can find me on bobbledsoe.com, although I just changed my domain and my website went down when I changed my domain. I think I have to rebuild my website.
I hope not.
I hope not, too. But so you may, depending on when this thing goes out, you might be able to find me at bobbledsoe.com, or
right.
you won't. Just find me on Facebook, facebook.com/bobbledsoe. And then I have YouTube channels. I've got The Program Show is a bunch of sketches. That's where I send people to see my comedy sketches. I've got, I think, Bob Bledsoe, just YouTube/Bob Bledsoe, and I think I have Bob Bledsoe Music. I've got a bunch of...
Okay. So we can hear your music.
You can hear some stuff on my music. I teach ukulele and a little guitar and things like that. So I have.
Awesome.
So I've got a few things on the music page.
Awesome. Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you. That was fun.
Thank you for having me here. If there's ever another one you want to do, obviously, more than welcome to do it again. It would be fun. Let's see. I don't know when this is going out, but you guys should at least pay attention to jk2016.com and stolendress.com, because by the time this comes out, I'm for sure in the middle of doing the sequel to my last movie, but it consists of about 15 separate vlogs, posting about 15 videos a month, possibly more. It's my fake presidential campaign. It's on Stolen Dress. You'll be able to find it. I'll put a big link so it's unavoidable. So you should listen to that. Follow us at Comedy on Vinyl, etc., etc. All that crap's at the end of this. Thank you guys for listening. And as always, have a good thing. Comedy on Vinyl is a production of Stolen Dress Entertainment. It is produced by Mike Warden and is hosted and edited by Jason Klamm. Our theme song was composed and performed by Richard Levinson. Please visit stolendress.com to listen to our other podcasts, read our blogs, read our tweets, watch our videos, and read our books. Please subscribe on iTunes, and if you like us, give us a 5-star rating and a nice review. You can find us on facebook.com/comedyonvinyl, Twitter @comedyonvinyl, and find everything else at comedyonvinyl.com. Oh, hi, I'm Jason Klamm.
Gaziza, I'm Alan Rickert.
Your last name is Rickert?
And we are the hosts of Dispatches from Fort Awesome, a news radio podcast.
This is Jason again. I host the well-reputed...
Reputed. This is Alan.
Reputed Comedy on Vinyl podcast, as well as some others. Alan, though.
I've been on some podcasts, also I'm an actor, and have been for nigh on several years.
The important part, though, is that while we're close friends, we found a bond when we discovered that we both loved the greatest sitcom of the 90s.
Possibly of all time.
I won't refute that. The podcast will go through the entire series, from episode 1 to episode 97.
We'll be talking with other fans of the show, people who worked on the show, and you.
That's right. Starting today, well, a while ago, but you only knew about it today, you can email your questions about the show, and I'm not kidding here, to freakzilla@scopenet.com. That's right. We'll either try to get the answers for you ourselves or direct from the people who put the show together.
It's a dream come true. You can also call and leave a voicemail for us at 646-801-WNYX. If it's relevant or funny or even stupid, as long as it's news radio related, you have a good chance of it getting played on the show.
So please, follow us on Twitter at WNYX News Radio or like us on Facebook.com/News Radio Podcast. In the coming weeks, basically, once we get some important people to sit down and record with us, we'll announce the launch of our first episode.
But what if they think this is the first episode?
If they do, they insult not only me, but also my cane.
That's my episode.
You can't own an episode.
That is my favorite.
Mine too, and like everybody else's. This one I like, I keep.
This one displeases me.
Coming soon on the Stolen Dress Podcast Network.
Dispatches from Fort Awesome, a news radio podcast.
All of this talk of aged lunch meat and ghosts has made me peckish.
Equally dumb closing quote.
God damn it, Alan.
Sorry.